Welcome back to the Prosperous Life Podcast, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up. Did you know that most people rely on motivation over willpower, causing over 90% of people to fail in their New Year's resolutions and just their goals in life, and giving up on their hopes, their dreams, and their aspirations in life, and settling within the first month of the rest of the year and saying, I'll come back to that next year. We don't want that. We're well into January now of 2023. And we got a long year ahead. And it's going to go quick. It's going to come quick. So I don't want you to be part of the 90%. I don't want you to be that statistic. I want you to be a part of the statistic that says, I optimized willpower and I accomplished my goals. I accomplished my dreams and I created the life that I deserve. My goal today is to guide you back to your most authentic self. And that's a self that optimizes growth in a journey, not a sprint. A journey of a lifetime. You're going to be led in this podcast to be able to optimize your best self and achieve more in life and accomplish that life that you deserve. Now, I would like to say that I've never relied on motivation, but that would be a joke. We all have. I mean, right now I know that I can't see you, and maybe you can see me if you're watching me on YouTube. But raise your hand if you've relied on motivation and quit or failed at a goal. Right? Because this is where most people get it wrong. But most people act as if, let's say New Year's Eve comes around and January 1st, you decide to go to the gym, and the goal is to go from the gym 7 days every single week for the next 52 weeks. But the last year, you only maybe went once or twice in the gym a week. Okay, well, let's say you've also never been to the gym before, and your goal is to go immediately curl like 50 pounds. It's just not accomplishable. It's not that you can't accomplish that in time. It's just not right away. And our mind is the exact same way. So if you go from wanting to go to the gym once a week to 7 times a week for 52 weeks straight, you're kidding yourself. That's motivation. And motivation might get you there for 1, 2, 3 weeks. But your mind isn't at that standard yet. Which means you will naturally fall back to the standard of 1 time in a week. So we want you to get to the 7 days. That's not a matter of an if, it's a matter of when if you continue with it. But that's the power of willpower. Is that willpower gets you to the 7 days every single week for 52 weeks. Motivation will get you there for a short spurt of time. And I don't want your goals, your aspirations, and your amazingness in life to die after a short period of time, a sprint. I want you to live an extraordinary life for the rest of your life. And that's what we're here to do today. Now, with that in mind, most people act as if they're perfect. Remember that. Most people don't want you to see their insecurities that they hold. Most people want you to think that they are on a pedestal for the simple fact that they have insecurities and they hope that nobody sees. I'm wishing and hoping that after this podcast, you take these steps and you run with them. Because if you do, you won't be the person acting perfect. You'll be so confident, know that you're not perfect, but you'll be so confident that you're along your own journey. You'll be so confident that there's not one right way to do things because you're following your right way, your authentic way. So here are 3 steps so you can optimize willpower and win in 2023 and future years. Step 1, you want to start with the end in mind. Have a vision. Know exactly who you want to be and what you want to do. In the Bible, it says something of the nature, the people with the vision will not perish. If you have a vision, you at least don't need to know where your next step is. Right? You walk in the middle of the dark with no light on, you stub your toe, you hit your knee on the side of your bed. But what if you have your little phone out? you're walking around, you know your next step, so you're not going to hit your knee or your toe. That's all you need. Sure, I recommend a long-term vision, but only if you could just see your next step, then at least you can consistently walk. So have the end in mind. And what I would encourage here is after this podcast, go to the description below, and there's going to be a vision board workbook link that I'm going to take you to. It's a gift from me to you. Just go sign up for it, and it will show you how to build a vision board step by step for you. And that way you can have a vision, not just for 2023, but for your life. And so that you can start winning and knowing what next steps you need to take. That way you never get lost. Now, taking it back to motivation, right? Motivation doesn't work because it's short spurts. It'll last a little bit and then it's going to die. And then you're not going to want to go and do it anymore. And those are the people that quit. After 3 weeks, 4 weeks into January, most people are quitting for that reason. They don't feel like it. Life gets hard. So we're going to shoot to optimize and grow 1% at a time. Your mind is a muscle. So for you to gain muscle, you have to take it one step at a time. If it's your first time in the gym, you might start with 5 pounds. And then you might go up to 7.5 and then 10 and then 15. But you're not going from 1 to 50. Those are motivation might get you there for a short period of time. But we're looking to live an extraordinary life for our journey, for our life. And that's where we're going to get you today. So have others in mind is going to be step number 2. When you have other people in mind, that allows you to think of something greater than just yourself. That allows you to have something in mind for yourself. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't reach their goals and don't pursue their goals for the simple fact that they feel like it is selfish. They think it's selfish to put their spirit, their mind, their body first. They think it's selfish to try to become financially free or to go build that business. They think it's selfish to put their relationship first. They think it's selfish to go buy the big material items. Well, think about all the other people that you'll be able to help along the way. Think of all the other people that you'll be able to support if your spirit is good, your mind is good, your body is good. If you're not 100%, you cannot put other people at 100%. Because if you're 100% and you put that step forward to get you there, that's a step closer to making this world a better place and getting the world to be 100%. But if you go out there and try to get the world 100% for yourself, before yourself, at some point you're going to get to 0% and not make an impact on anyone. Now, I didn't truly start winning in life until I had the end in mind. It took one step for me to create my vision of life that I started to accomplish greater things. Most of you guys know my story by now. Some of you guys watching this are brand new. My story began at 13 it started before 13, but I started drugs at the age of 13. And I was in that for about 3 years. It wasn't until I saw what I was capable of being and capable of doing where my life changed. That's when I was given the opportunities because I saw a bigger future for myself. So it's time for us to slow down. We didn't go too deep today, but it's time for us to slow down and optimize willpower. Take this one step at a time. Know exactly what step you're going to take next. And this will allow you to take a step after a step after a step to get you in the right way. The answer is not, hopefully, it's going to be someday for you at this point. But when we, instead of saying, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days starting next year or next month or next week, when you haven't at all, or when you're saying, I'm going to go from not lifting weights to curling 50 pounds next week, this isn't serving anyone. You're going from 1 to 100 and you're going to fail. Just shoot to grow 1% every week, every day. even 0.5%. Just start. That's the hardest part. They've researched successful people in every industry, every walk of life, and the people that are just consistent are the people that win. And when we optimize willpower, we win because we're optimizing 1% growth at a time, which allows our standards to raise, which allows us to raise, which means we don't question it. Whether we feel like it or not, it is a natural habit of progression instead of my life changing right now. So get out there and optimize willpower over motivation. Don't go from 1 to 100. Focus on one thing and grow that one thing 1% at a time. With that in mind, the next thing you need to keep everybody else in mind is this isn't just about you. This is a growth of a forever thing. Keep in mind how you're going to impact your spouse, your kids, your parents, siblings, your community. Keep the end in mind, and then you'll be inspired to even pursue it that much more. Now, we've talked about 2 ways to optimize willpower, motivation, and optimizing it in an effective way. Now it's your turn to live a prosperous life. Today, with the beginning of a new year, go grab my book, Journey to Prosper. Journey to Prosper it'll be in the description below, but it'll take you through the 7 steps that I believe it takes to live a prosperous life. It's awareness, identity, vision, mindset, purpose, action, and impact. If you can become an expert on every single one of those topics, again, it is not an if, it is a when you will live a prosperous life. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your day.